We were missionaries associates in Zimbabwe for 2 years. Well, I think God makes himself real to me when he speaks to me. And most dramatically is usually an answer to some kind of prayer I've had. He'll give me a direct answer, or he'll give me some insight. And it's just that voice you hear, that small voice that you know it's not coming from you, it's coming from God. No, in fact, I want to show you this. If I can get it out here. It's my Army dog tags. And these dog tags basically say, for religion, agnostic. So my mother tried to get us to church when we were young, but as kids we resisted her. And so when I went in the Army, my perception of God was, yeah, there's a creator. I don't believe in evolution. That's just too bizarre to even think that many things could evolve. But I just felt like God created us for his amusement. The idea that God could be a personal God was something I had no concept of. Well, it's the thing we say here in church, tell somebody. And my wife, when I got back from Vietnam, my wife got saved, and then she started telling me about the Lord, and then other people were telling me about the Lord. And, I opened my heart to him. Let me tell you one more story. I'll tell you a story about my wife's wedding ring. When I was in Vietnam, I ordered an engagement ring and a wedding ring for Debbie, my wife. And before I got back home from Vietnam, she got the engagement ring. And then, but the wedding ring never came. And so after I got back from Vietnam, we had some, difficulties about, gee, are we sure we really want to do this? And so I was actually visiting her house, and I happened to be the only one there because her mother drove school bus, so her mom was away, Debbie was at work, her father was at work, her stepfather was at work. And so I'm praying. It's an early answer to new Christian's prayer. Lord, what do you want me to do? What should we do? And the doorbell rang, so I answered the doorbell because I was the only one there. And it was the mailman delivering the wedding ring. And this was probably, I'm thinking about 4 months after I got back. So it took I'm thinking about 10 months for that wedding ring to get to her house, and it got there right at the right time. And the story goes on from there. During our wedding ceremony, I was fidgeting with her hand as we were being prayed over, and I guess I loosened one of the stones, the jeweler had reset. So we go to the reception, which is in the reception hall, and we go to take pictures, and we noticed one of the stones in her ring was missing. And I stood there as a young man and said, Lord, this is supposed to be the happiest day in one of the happiest days in a bride's life. Please don't let this happen. That was my prayer. That's short, that's sweet. And as I opened my eyes, I could hear the Lord say, it's right over there. And about 10 feet away, I walked over about 10 feet away, bent down, and picked up the stone. And you couldn't tell because, there was pieces of lint and everything on the floor, but the Lord just answered the prayer and spoke to me. I don't know how to say it, not an audible voice, but he told me where it was. I went over and picked it up, and so that wedding ring kind of has a couple of extra double meanings to us. Jesus is worth looking into because he's our hope. He gives us hope for the future, hope for eternal life, but he also promises abundant life now, a life, if we give our hearts to Him, He promises us that He will give us a full life. And I don't mean, full of all kinds of material things, but a full life in terms of spiritual things and relationships.